Well, will the pandemic cancel Christmas in Britain? The government is under pressure to revise its plan to relax COVID-19 rules for 5 days over the festive season. Two leading medical journals have called the decision rash, claiming it will cost lives. But a cabinet minister now says the public should use their own judgment when choosing who to gather with over the Christmas period. John Beaver is in Bristol trying to sort out these messages for us. John, despite the warnings from the medical community, it seems Boris Johnson is rather unwilling to be the one to ruin Christmas for Britain.
Yeah, that's very true. We've got the Christmas trees, we have the terrible winter weather, but it seems like apart from that, the festive season here in the UK is going to look very different indeed. In fact, in the last couple of minutes, Boris Johnson has just told the House of Commons that there will be no changes to the plans. They are going to allow groups of up to 3 households in England to gather together for Christmas. Now, that is despite what the scientists say, and it's despite the fact that the COVID cases here in the UK are rising, and they are rising rapidly in some areas. Southeast England, things are very bad. In Wales as well, not far from where I am here in the southwest of England, things there are very bad as well. But the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, says that the leaders of the different nations have agreed unanimously that they are going to let Christmas continue. Nobody wants to be that Grinch politician, the politician who cancelled Christmas. Nobody wants that on their record. So despite what the scientists say, the government is saying it's up to the individual to decide whether they should gather together. They're urging people probably that they shouldn't, but they're not going to legislate against it.
Well, with infection levels still rising then in the UK, as you mentioned, John, how much public support is there for an easing of curbs over Christmas?
Well, we've just had a poll from one of the leading polling organisations here who said that actually the figures now are close to 60% of people think that the rules should be changed and you shouldn't be allowed to gather in these 3 household bubbles. So it's about 60% against, about 30% for, and about 10% who just say they don't know. And I think that really is a problem. People are getting confused by this messaging. For the rest of the pandemic, the government have been quite clear in saying what you can and can't do. For example, where I am here in Bristol, I'm in a so-called Tier 3 area. So there are very strict rules on what I can and can't do. None of these restaurants behind me, for example, are allowed to open. But for a few days over Christmas, all bets are off. Everything is out the window. People will be gathering together. So I think people are confused because the science is saying one thing. The government aren't making it illegal, but they are urging people, if they can, not to go ahead with Christmas in the traditional manner.